We're presenting a full feature film in Cannes in less than a month. 80 minutes long, fully AI generated. Now the issue is that we don't have the film yet, but what we do have is 10 million credits, a team of 15 people, 14 days, and no clue if we'll make it. Welcome to episode 2. Hi, I'm Adil. If you're new here, here's what's happening. We're making the first fully AI-generated 80-minute feature film. It premieres at Cannes in less than a month, and we have 14 days to finish the whole thing. We started with 10 million credits, and we have 15 people on the team. If you want to know what happened in the first episode, check it out right here. Today is day 4, and today's going to be a little different. I'll be honest with you, in my videos on YouTube, I usually get everything right basically first try, with the magic of editing. That's done to keep the video tight and easy to digest. But today, you're going to see the entire process, start to finish. No cuts to finish shot, no, and here's the one I prepared earlier. I'm going to fail, like, a lot. But most importantly, I'm going to teach you the exact frameworks I use to turn those failures into cinematic shots. So good they might premiere at Cannes someday. Specifically, here's what's happening today. I'm generating scenes 21 and 23. My coworker's working on scene 22, and by the end of this episode, what I make has to get the director's approval, or it doesn't make the film. You'll learn how to create locations, props, and how to bring all of it to life with Seedance 2.0. You'll also learn how to tell slop from cinema, which sounds obvious, but I learned the hard way, it's not. And at the very end, I'll show you exactly where we are in terms of credits and exactly how much usable footage we've actually built across the whole team in 4 days. Let's get into it. All right, so the first thing we're gonna need is the script for scenes 21 and 23. So we're gonna start with the script. Here I have the script for scenes 21 through 23. I've cut the rest out as to not spoil the whole plot this early on. Today we'll be working on the scenes 21 and 23, and my coworker will be handling scene 22. Now, I know it sounds like very little text, but promise you it's gonna take quite a bit of time to complete, so brace yourselves. So for context, these scenes will take place after the first episode, so if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out here first. And here's what's happening. In the last scene of episode 1, Lulu gets taken away. Now here we have Rocco back in their old apartment, reminiscing about their past. He walks in, looks around the room, there's a bunch of pictures of the whole crew goofing around in the past, and then we get the flashback scenes from the past, and then closing of Rocco very upset in the same room. He breaks down and starts crying. It's a very emotional moment, so it's very important for us to land this because we have to convey to the viewers that they aren't just friends, they're family. Now to get started, we're gonna head over to Claude and upload a custom skill. So here, click Customize, Create New Skills, click this plus button, upload a skill, and drag and drop this zip file, which I left in the caption. This is a custom skill that our directors built. It has pretty much all the knowledge that they've acquired throughout these series, and to use it in a new chat, we're just gonna invoke it. So shortlist builder. Next, we need to upload the script for scenes that we're working on. Now I'm gonna give it context. I want a shot list for scenes 21 and 23. Skip 22. And next we're gonna head over to our canvas, which has all of our assets, our locations, characters. And over here we have the style prefix. So this is gonna define the style, lighting, color, composition, audio. These are all very important, especially when working in a big team. So 15 people generating the same film, we have to make sure that everything stays consistent, and the style prefix lets us do just that. One of the most important parts here is lighting, so natural light only, key light coming from sky and windows only. And also audio. When generating with Seedance 2.0, you only get one audio track, and if your characters are speaking, sometimes Seedance has a tendency, especially in emotional moments, to add music. And in post-production, it's really difficult to separate those audio tracks. So it's important that we tell it to only add environmental sound effects, no music, no subtitles. We'll be adding our own music when we edit the full film. Now I'm gonna copy the style prefix, bring it back to Claude. Here's my style prefix. And run it. The skill is going to take the scenes and split them up into 15-second shots, and the prompts will be tailored for the video model that we'll be using. So uploading the script was phase 1. Phase 2 is it's going to ask us for the assets that it needs. So the characters, locations, props. As you can see, we need a character sheet of Rocco, then the location, the old apartment. And for props, we need the photo wall arrangement, the little note that says food in the fridge, and the Polaroid of Rocco and Lulu. We already have the character sheet for Rocco, which we used in the previous scenes. It would be this one right here. So now we need the location, so the old apartment. Now the apartment has to be in the same city as where the guys live. So I believe we have a location sheet for it right here. So I'm gonna download it. And I'm gonna name it city location. Now in Claude, I'm gonna drop in the city and then give a pretty detailed description of the apartment that I'm looking for. The apartment needs to be in this city. You can see the same buildings from the window. I need a wide living room with a couch in the center. On the wall, there are a bunch of posters. There are 2 windows on the left side, on the right side. There's a hallway that leads to the entrance. Along the hallway, I want 2 doors on the left and 3 doors on the right. And there's a small kitchen on the right. This is an oddly detailed description. This came from the directors. They had a specific look in mind for the apartment, so we're gonna go with that. But if you don't have a specific image in mind, I recommend using Soul Cinema. You could just type in something like an old apartment and then just batch a ton of images and pick the ones you like. But here we're working with pretty demanding directors, so we're gonna have to go with this. The reason I uploaded the city here and not in the image generator is because Nano Banana Pro has a pretty hard time with spatial awareness. And if you upload any images or locations, it tries to fit them in the image. So we'd probably end up having a room outdoors. All right, so it gave us a 4-view reference sheet. I don't want that just yet. So I'm just gonna say, I just need a 1-view image. Now it gave us a very detailed prompt. It's talking about the layout, where everything should be placed exactly, what the lighting should look like, what the city outside looks like, and the style from the style prefix. Now I'm gonna copy this prompt. Oh, and over here, before I start generating, I want to talk a little bit about the collab feature because I think a lot of you don't know about it yet. So in collab over here, I'm going to create a new project, call it scenes 21 and 23. That way I stay organized and I can keep all my scenes separately in different projects. Now I have access to all the best image models and video models all in one place. And that's not even the best part. Watch this. I'm gonna share this project, make it public. I can invite by email or just copy the link, toggle any of the permissions, so approval required, anyone can join, viewer, collaborator, whether or not it's visible in community, and whether or not viewers can send messages. And here's an example of a project that we're all working on together. So Hell Grind, as you can see, some people are working on the chase scene, some people are creating assets, some people are creating the samurai. And the main advantage of sharing the folders this way, instead of, for example, downloading this image and sharing it separately, is that this way I get all the assets, all the inputs, including the prompts, and I even know which tools were used to create certain images. So if I ever want to go back and tweak them, I have everything I need to do so. I can also leave comments on individual generations or the entire project by opening the chat over here. And I can even hop on a video call. Look at that. I mean, what else could you possibly need for teamwork? Anyways, let's move to the apartment. So we're back on our new project. I'm gonna paste in the prompt that Claude gave us. I'm gonna do 21 by 9 and generate 4 images. Nailing the location is very important because when we generate videos later, most of the lighting and the style is gonna come from this reference. So if we mess it up, the video is gonna be very sloppy. All right, we got 4 images. Let's take a look. These don't look too bad. So we got everything we asked for. Some big windows, the city in the background, the couch over here, the hallway. I prefer this to be a full wall like it is over here, but it messed up the hallway here. So we're gonna have to do some more batches. Also, I don't know if you can tell, but the textures on the image look a little plasticky. It's very common for Nano Banana Pro, so we're gonna have to fix that with a prompt. I'm gonna work a little bit on the layout. So I want these paintings or these posters to be on the wall here, move the kitchen over here, and make the windows a little smaller. On the left side of the room, there are 2 windows. The front side is a wall covered in posters. Is that a TV? With a TV on a TV stand, just so it doesn't slam it on the wall. Make the couch L-shaped, facing the TV. The kitchen should be really small along the wall on the right side, and add light atmospheric haze. This little line in the bottom over here makes a big difference in terms of lighting and textures. You'll see in a second. The keywords I added here for lighting are very important. It's going to help us fight that plasticky look that Nano Banana Pro always gives you. So here's the new prompt. We're going to copy it over, bring it back to Higgsfield, and do another batch. The reason I'm doing batches of only 4 is because with such a detailed prompt, Nano Banana Pro will give you fairly consistent results. So if something is off, the issue is probably in the prompt. Okay, I think we're getting there. We lost the hallway in this one. This one looks pretty good. I think the image is a little too boring. So maybe let's add some contrast by changing the color. So maybe make this wall red and the couch blue. And for the vibe of this scene specifically, I want colder tones. So we're gonna tweak that as well. But layout wise, I think it's not bad. So we're gonna go back to Claude and do some more adjustments. I want the front wall to be red, the couch blue, and maybe let's change the fridge to yellow. The fridge yellow, colder, light atmospheric haze. And here's a new prompt. Let's try running it again. All right, let's see what we got. We're making some progress here, except we lost the hallway again, so we're gonna have to tweak that. Ooh, this one has the best lighting so far. We just have to bring back the hallway. This wall looks a little empty, so maybe I'll add a couple of posters here as well. The floor too. Yeah, it's a little boring, so maybe a carpet. Yeah, carpet should do it. So you lost the hallway on the right side. Also add carpet under the table and the couch, and add just a couple posters.
and the wall on the left between the windows.
All right, now we're gonna take this new prompt, bring it back to Nana Banana Pro, paste it in, and run another batch. Now you might have noticed that I'm not even reading these prompts. The main reason is that they're pretty long, so it would have taken forever to go through them and make sure that I got all the details right. It's easier to just batch a couple images, and if there are any parts I don't like, I'm just gonna ask Claude to fix those. I can already tell that we're gonna have to tweak the prompt again. We lost all the posters here. I'm not a big fan of this arc on the hallway. The lighting was definitely better on this one. Let's see here. Okay, that's a no. This one's not bad, but it painted this wall as well, which we don't want. Okay, you know what? Let's go back to Claude and say, edit the previous prompt again. So now we're gonna be working with this one. Let's ask it to bring the hallway again. Add a hallway on the right side. 2 doors on the left. 3 doors on the right along the hallway. And we want to add some posters here, so add a couple posters on the wall on the left between the windows. Let's also add some curtains by the windows over here. Add really small curtains on each window. Am I forgetting something? Find the rug. Add a gray rug under the table and the couch. And keep the rest the same. Let's try that. All right, let's try this new prompt. This is the closest image so far to what I have in mind for the final room. So if this prompt doesn't work, we might have to bring this to GPT image and edit this. But first, let's see what we get. Actually, I think we're getting pretty close here too. My only issues are, again, the arc on the hallway. We need to bring back the posters. The windows aren't bad. I like the new rug. And I think the hallway needs to be a little darker. So let's try editing this prompt now. I want the hallway. Are they all this wide? More narrow. And up to the ceiling without the arc. On the front wall, add the posters. The hallway should be darker. I don't like the curtains halfway, so let's also ask, and the curtains should be full length. Now we're gonna take this new prompt, try running it again. So back in Nana Banana Pro, I'm gonna do another batch. We are doing a lot better already from where we started. Like take this image, for example, looks very plasticky. The textures are off, the layout is wrong. And compared to even this one or this one, the light already feels a lot more vibey and moody. So this is exactly what we're looking for. All right, and here are the new 4 images. I think we're getting pretty close. I like this one much better already. Okay, now let's make our edits on this image. So I'm gonna download this. I'm gonna name it Apartment 1. Now, I'm gonna bring it over to Claude and say we'll be editing this image. So what do I not like about it? It looks a little too new for an old lived-in apartment, so we need to make it a little older. Maybe let's add some revealed pipes on the ceiling to make it look lived in. It's still too bright outside. It's darker outside. And let's make it grungier. So atmospheric haze, film grain. Now let's add some shadow depth to make the composition more interesting. So we're gonna crush these blacks. It might just work if I say crush the blacks to add shadow depth. Give me the prompt for this edit. The image will be attached as reference. All right, now we're gonna take this edit prompt back in Higgsfield. I'm gonna drag in this image and paste in that prompt. I'm gonna try generating in Nano Banana Pro and also in GPT Image 2.0. It does pretty well with edits, so let's see how it does here. Oh, I only did a batch of 1, so let's do 3 more and then change it to 4. I prefer working in batches of 4. That way, in a single row, I have the exact same prompt. All right, so over here we have the Nano Banana Pro images, and these are GPT Image 2. Okay, I think with GPT Image, the picture looks a little too dark for me. These aren't terrible, but I definitely don't like the pipes here. So we're gonna have to move those maybe along the ceiling over here. I wanna push the fridge further in instead of the stove over here. And also let's add some lore to the room. Since it's their apartment, they are skaters, so maybe add a skateboard here. Back in Claude, let's make those edits. So add a skateboard to the left of the couch. Place the fridge instead of the stove, and make the pipes thinner and running. Wait, that was horizontally, right? Yeah, so those are horizontal. Let's do vertical. Vertically on the right hand side. All right, the prompt that it gave us is a new edit on this image. So I'm gonna copy this, pick the one that I like the most. It's probably gonna be one of the Nano Banana Pro ones. Maybe this one. So let's bring that over. I'm gonna paste the prompt and hit generate. All right, and here's our new room. Okay, the pipes should have been on the ceiling, so we're gonna have to fix that. The skateboard, I think I want it on the wall and not on the couch. It kind of stands out a little too much here. Overall, the composition is not bad though. Yeah, let's make those edits. I don't want to keep editing the same picture over and over again because we're going to keep losing little details as we do so. So I'd prefer to edit the previous image. So in Claude, I'm going to say edit the previous image again. The skateboard should be leaning against the wall and not the couch. The pipes should be on the ceiling and not the wall. And it didn't move the fridge, so we'll have to reiterate that. And swap the fridge with a stove further down. It ended up giving us a prompt to edit the last image, so I guess I'm just gonna go with it. So the one I liked the most was this one. Get rid of that. All right, these are new images. I think because we keep making more and more edits, it's having a hard time understanding the spatial layout. Like I'm trying to place the skateboard on the left, but it's just refusing to do that. And the pipes should be running along the ceiling above the hallway here. It did move the fridge, which is nice. Also, the colorway looks a little bit plasticky. I want like colder greenish color, if that makes sense. So I think instead of editing and iterating on the same image, I'm gonna take the one that I like the most. This one here. Let's call it apartment 2. Now I'm gonna bring it to Claude and say, I like the general layout, but I'm gonna regenerate it from scratch. Give me the full prompt for it. There will be no reference image attached. Now the edits that I want to make, the pipes should not be on the wall. They should be on the ceiling, starting from the hallway. The skateboard should be to the right from the couch, or to the left, sorry, from the couch. And I want colder greenish color tones. And I think that's good. Oh man, look at this prompt. That is super detailed. It's describing every single detail of the layout. So let's try running that. And this time we don't need the reference. And I'll do a new batch. Oh yeah, these are starting to look a lot better. Let's take a look. I like this one a lot. The hallway is like nice and dark. The skateboard is finally there. The camera moved back a little bit and we got a wider view, which I think is a good thing. The pipes kind of make sense now. Okay, this one's my favorite so far. In this one, the layout changed completely, even though the prompt was very detailed, which is a little surprising to me. This one's not gonna work for us. This one, I like the color way better, but again, the layout is completely different, so this is a no as well. And same here, so I guess we're gonna have to go with this one. So this one is easily my favorite. I'm gonna like it and download as well. Let's name it Old Apartment. Now in our folder, I'm gonna get rid of the first 2 versions and probably the city now, we don't need it anymore. All right, I'm gonna create the second view of this layout. Because we're going to be navigating the scene a lot throughout the video generations, I want to give the model as much context as possible. To do that, I'm going to upload to Claude our old apartment and say I want a view from the hallway looking into the room. The image will be attached as reference. But I also want a detailed prompt. Now we're gonna take this 15 million character prompt, bring it back to Nana Banana Pro, paste that in, and I'm also gonna drag in our apartment as reference. And while we wait for that, just take a look at how much we've moved from the initial image to our final location. And it's taken us, let's see here, 44 iterations to get the final layout of the room. And then we're gonna have to do, my guess is like 20 more iterations to get the view from inside the hallway. So far, here's what we have. It's not bad, but it's the wrong hallway. Yeah, so the hallway's coming out from that way. So on the left, we have to have the fridge. We should be looking out at this wall. The window should be on the right side, which is just completely wrong here. So let's tell it that. The hallway in the original image
is on the right side by the fridge. And then reverse angle view. The fridge should be on the left, and the mirrors should be on the right. All right, hopefully this will do. Same reference, we're just changing the prompt and generate. All right, there's our new reverse angle. I think it's starting to understand where the hallway is, but this is the wrong wall. This is better. The fridge is on the right side, but I don't like the window here as well. Ooh, this one's nice. It even kept the doors that we used in the very first prompt when we described the layout of the room. It kept the fridge where we want it. There's some bookshelves and some posters over here as well. And the texture is just right. The lighting too, like it doesn't feel plasticky. It feels real, like a real still from a movie. Oh, here just gave up completely. I mean, kept the fridge, but pretty much everything else is wrong. So I'm definitely going with this option over here. Let's download it as well. I'm gonna call it Old Apartment Reverse. Oh, I misspelled that, whatever. Now, instead of having to upload 2 images every time I generate, I combine the 2 views together. So in the top layout, we have the front facing wide angle, and in the bottom, the view from the hallway. I ended up switching to a 16:9 aspect ratio. That way I didn't have to cut too much out from both images. Do you guys know films like Avatar, Dune, Blade Runner 2049, Deadpool 2? Well, we managed to get a hold of the VFX artist behind those films. This is Patrick Kalyn, Emmy-nominated VES Award winner. Since Hellgrind Episode 1 is primarily CGI, we wanted to get a second opinion on what it would take to make something like that in traditional filmmaking. So let's see what he has to say.
All right, I just finished watching Hellgrind by Higgsfield, and I mean, here's a raw reaction. This is an incredible piece of work. I was blown away. I mean, there was times when I was watching it and I completely forgot that I was watching something that was like generated with AI. And I mean, that's got to be the highest compliment. I mean, coming from the animation world, we call that the illusion of life. And I feel that this was achieved here. You know, I got drawn into the story, and there was times where I was just like, man, it's I could feel the emotion. I could really feel the emotion. If you were to do something like this with a traditional shoot, you know, using principal photography and a traditional visual effects pipeline, you've got a CG character, you've got tons of special effects, you'd have lots of practical effects going on, you know, rain and all that. I mean, almost every other shot was a visual effects shot. So you'd be looking at like 15 to 20 million US dollars for something like this. It's pretty crazy what they pulled off. So hats off.
Okay, so we have the location locked. Next, we need the props. So the photo wall, Polaroid, and a little note that says food in the fridge. I think I'm gonna start with a Polaroid. And then for the photo wall, I want it to be consistent and have a lot of different images on it, Polaroids more specifically. So I'm probably gonna ask it to give me a bunch of different scenarios where the crew is happy and captured on a Polaroid, generate individual images, and then just put them all together in Photoshop. So we'll start with a Polaroid. Give me a prompt for the Polaroid with Rocco and Lulu. I'll be uploading the character sheets for the faces. But I want you to describe the clothing in the prompt. So I don't want to bother creating a new character sheet just for one small picture. So I'm just gonna have Claude come up with the clothing both for Rocco and Lulu, and generate it at the same time. All right, let's bring over this prompt to Nana Banana. And I'm gonna need childhood versions of Rocco and Lulu. So on the canvas, we have
probably teenage version. Let's take this image. Ooh, teenage. We don't have a close-up. Yeah, this should do. And then this one for Rocco. Rocco, teenage. And in the prompt, when we're describing Rocco and Lulu, I'm just gonna tag them so we don't lose them. So this is Lulu, and this is Rocco. Hello, there we go. And generate. All right, so for some reason, it invented new characters for us, even though I uploaded the character sheets. My guess is that the prompt is very descriptive about the appearance. So if I want to fix that, I would upload to Claude the character sheets that I'll be using, or tell it not to describe the appearance at all and only the clothing. But I mean, some of these look not bad. So I'm just gonna download this and move on. And let's name it Polaroid and save it. Okay, we have the location locked and the Polaroid. Next, we need the sticky note. Now, I don't think we need a complex prompt for this. I think this should do just a close-up of a handwritten note. I cannot spell, God. Handwritten note on a blue sticky note that reads, what does it read? Food in the fridge. Let's do the F. There we go. Okay, this one looks the most fun and lived in, so I'll take it. Let's name it Note. And let's bring it back and save it on our canvas. Oh, hello. Okay. My coworker already made the daylight version of our apartment. It looks pretty spot on. Yeah, same room, same composition, except it's daytime. Yeah, my guess is he used Nana Banana for this. Just upload this image and say it's daytime. But yeah, that looks great. Okay, and let's drop in our note. Now, as for the photo wall, I want to generate a bunch of Polaroids like this, using all the characters and then just combine them all separately. This might take a while, so I'm going to do a time lapse. Well, let's do one together and then I'll do a time lapse for all the other ones. So for this, we're going to need teenager versions of all our characters. We already have Rocco and Lulu. Now we need Rain. So Rain, teenage, and Jack's teenage. I love his hair here. Now I'm gonna upload all those images to Claude. So Rain, Jax, Rocco, and Lulu. And then I'm gonna ask for, give me a bunch of prompts to generate different, oh God, different Polaroids with these characters. Describe their clothing as well, so that they're not wearing the same thing. Each image. And for context, I'll let Claude know that I'm gonna combine all of them into a photo wall. Okay, while Claude was thinking, I had an idea. So the Polaroid that we generated is the main point of nostalgia, like him and Lulu together when they're young. I think all the other images, it could be nice to have them with the older versions of them. Okay, let's try that again. I'm gonna upload the adult versions of Rain, Jax, Lulu, and Wait, no, that's teenage. And Rocco. And I'm gonna say same idea, but let's do adult versions instead. Okay, it gave us a ton of prompts. Let's start with the first one, I guess. So the 4 of them on the rooftop. I'm gonna copy the prompt, paste it in, and then I need to upload all 4 of them. The adult versions. I don't think I need to name them, just drop it in as is. I don't need to tag them individually because in the prompt we have description of their appearance. So for Lulu, woman in her late 20s with shoulder length brown hair, sharper features, etc. So I'm just gonna do a couple of batches and then pick the ones I like. Wait, I think I forgot to get rid of the previous prompt about the handwritten note. Let me just copy this whole thing again. Delete. And there we go. Okay, so these are gonna be a waste. God damn it. In the last video, a lot of you noticed that I misspelled bald. Yeah, still learning how to spell. And one of the comments that I liked a lot was, I wonder how many credits were burned on grammatical errors like that. And trust me, a lot. Okay, just like I thought, some of these ended up having the sticky note on it with the food in the fridge. So it's a good thing we regenerated. These look pretty nice. Okay, well, these are broken. This is not bad. This is not bad. I think I like the lighting on this one the best. And all the faces stayed consistent, so save that. And I'm just gonna name these photo wall 1. Now I could generate the photo wall with just one image in Nana Banana, but my guess is that even with a detailed prompt, the faces would probably drift. And since this film is premiering at Cannes, we can't have that. To prove my point, I'm gonna get a prompt. Give me a prompt for a photo wall with all these characters. Actually, with a bunch of Polaroids with all these characters in different moments. Be very descriptive about each Polaroid. Oh God. I'll be uploading the character sheets for reference. Okay, so we got this really long prompt and it's describing 12 Polaroids on the same wall. It has description of what's happening, who's in the frame. Let's try running it. So the characters are already attached. And let's see what we get. Okay, let's see what these photo walls look like. Right off the bat, Rocco, what happened to you, dog? This is terrible. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if we're hoping to show this film on the big screens, I can. This is just unacceptable. Yeah, we're gonna do one image at a time and then stitch them all together. I'm just gonna do time lapse so you don't spend 40 hours here with me. All right, so I got all the Polaroids ready. I had a little change of plans along the way. So I went back to Claude and, oh God, let me find it here. Yeah, so I said I'll be uploading a picture of the apartment for reference as well. because I figured it would make sense that all the memories from the past should be in that apartment since they all live together. And then Claude asked me for the image of the apartment. I uploaded it, and then I started trying to describe the apartment in every prompt. So I stopped it immediately and said I'll be attaching the apartment, so you don't need to describe it in every prompt. And then I just copy pasted each one of them and generated a ton of images. And then I stitched them all together just in Photoshop, and this is where we're at. So all the Polaroids, a bunch of different memories. All right, so that's our final prop locked. Let's bring it over to our canvas. So I'm gonna drag that in right here. A little OCD, so I'm gonna try and center these. All right, so we have the location, the Polaroid, the sticky note, and the photo wall. Those will do for now. We might have to generate some more as we go, but let's move to the most interesting part, generating videos with Seedance 2.0. So for this, in the same chat with Claude, I'm gonna upload the images that we just got. So the photo wall, we'll need a photo of Rocco, the Polaroid, the old apartment. And let's ask it to now build the shot list. All right, so the process started. The reason I didn't invoke the skill again is because we did it at the very beginning, and Claude can keep context of the entire chat. So as you can see, it noticed that we completed all 3 phases. In phase 1, we started with the shot list. Phase 2, we created the assets, and now we're mapping all the prompts onto the scenes. So it managed to grab all the assets perfectly. So the old apartment, Rocco, the Polaroid, and the photo wall. I did forget to upload the sticky note. I think we'll be okay. It's a pretty small note. Seedance might be able to render it on its own when we get to that stage of the scene. If it's struggling, if it's not working, I'm gonna generate it and upload it. While we're waiting for Claude to do his thing, I created a new timeline in my editor, and I also downloaded some music, which I called sad music. I recommend editing as you go. That way you know where you're still missing, how your shots work together. It's also helpful to edit with music at the same time. That way you know what it will look like in the final edit. All right, so Claude is done doing its thing. I'm gonna click it right here. And I recommend opening the HTML file right in Claude. And then as we go further, whenever we need any prompts edited, the workflow is gonna be pretty simple. So I'm gonna take prompt 21A, for example, and say, actually, I'm just gonna show you as we go. Let's try and run it first. So this is our first scene. We have the description up top. So 21A would be Rocco's hand enters frame, key and lock, door swings inwards into the dark apartment beyond. He steps in, silhouetted against the hallway, light from the corridor behind him. He stops just inside the door, doesn't move further. So again, that's the first scene where Rocco unlocks the door, enters, and stands by the door, looking around their apartment. So let's try that. In Collab, we're gonna switch over to video. Out of these characters, we're only gonna need Rocco and the apartment. Let's verify them. I'm gonna paste in our prompt. Now we'll be doing 21:9 instead of 16:9 because we're showing this film on the big screens. I can, if you forgot. Anything I'm missing here? Yeah, so the images that we're referencing should be of Rocco, the character sheet, and the old apartment. Rocco, old apartment. In this case, the order does matter. So Rocco has to go first because he's described first, and then the apartment second. And we're just gonna run a few batches and see what we get. I prefer doing batches of 8 and then seeing if it's doing what I want it to do. You'll notice right away if a few of your videos are making the same mistake, that's when you stop them and head over to Claude and fix your prompts. Oh, and the reason the prompt is in Chinese isn't because I speak Chinese. I don't. When Seedance 2.0 just came out, it worked better with Chinese prompts, but also it had a hard cap of 3,000 characters per prompt. So this was our way of kind of working around it. In English, per word, you might have to use 5 to 10 characters, whereas in Chinese, it's 1 to 2 max. So it could cram in more information within those 3,000 characters. Seedance does take some time to generate, so in the meantime, I want to fix one thing that I don't like about a shot list. So it was supposed to have the prompts on one side and then the description on the left side,
For some reason it didn't. I think I might have broken the skill. I am gonna fix it and then leave it in the description if you want to check it out. But let's just ask Claude to have make the shot list 2 columns. Columns, right? Rows this way, columns this way. Yeah. On the left side should be the description of the scene / prompt, and on the right, the prompt itself. Also, these warnings, the failure modes, those are things like here, for example, it's telling Seedance to not drift the Polaroid, even though it's really small. We noticed that prompt handles like this tend to do a lot better in the prompts, but for some reason it's not in the prompt, so I'm going to ask it to fix that as well. The failure modes should be inside the prompts as well, also in Chinese. Boom. Now we're just going to let it run. And in the meantime, our generations are ready, so let's take a look at what we've got. So here's the first one. Nope. Okay. Okay, that is totally wrong. Okay, so is that, why is he standing like that? Okay. So nope. Okay, so I can already tell that I don't like the store opening at the beginning, so we might just cut it out altogether. As you might have noticed, I'm not watching the whole video. We're gonna batch a lot of videos and it would have taken forever. So just kind of like skim through the video, take a look at different shots. If the composition looks right, it's worth watching the whole thing. If you're standing in the middle of the room looking very weird, then that shot is probably not worth it. Like this one, for example. He missed the key altogether. Oh no, I don't like that at all. It might be because we're having him enter from outside into the room. Seedance has a harder time understanding, I guess, spatial awareness. That doesn't work either. All right, so all 8 failed. So there's definitely something wrong in the prompt. There's no point in batching further. So let's go back to Claude and fix our prompt. Okay, Claude is still reformatting our shot list. It is taking quite a bit of time and burning quite a few tokens, but it's gonna be worth it in the long run. Also, false alarm on the shot list. It did work. It's just that the screen was too narrow. So if I make it wider this way, both columns fit. This way we can see the description on the left and then the prompt itself on the right, because I clearly don't speak Chinese. So for the first prompt, Rocco unlocks the door from outside. The door swings inward. He steps in slowly. Okay, I think maybe let's try. So to edit the prompts, you're gonna start with for prompt, and then you're gonna give the number, so 21A. Let's have the camera. Oh my God, I can't spell today. The camera inside the room in the first shot. He opens the door, walks in, and that might be enough for the first shot. So let's try that. All right, so it updated the prompt. It updated it right in the shot list here. This helps a lot when you're generating big projects. You can keep track of all your prompts. And in case you want to tweak any of your videos later, you don't have to go looking for them. And I guarantee you we're going to have to regenerate some of these prompts. According to the plan, the first week we're spending on generating the full 80 minutes. And then second week, we're going to refine key moments. So having these shot lists for each scene really helps. So I'm going to take this prompt, paste it here, and generate a couple more. Let's do just one batch this time.
All right, it's done generating, finally. Here's the first one. Okay, we have like 15 doors in this room. It's definitely sloppy. So this is a no. And he walked in from this side, but now he's here. So this doesn't work. Again, a bunch of doors. So I think Seedance is having a hard time understanding that we want the camera placed here facing inwards, or rather here facing that way. So we're gonna have to tweak that in the next prompt. Again, invented a door where it shouldn't be. So that doesn't work. The second shot, also wrong. Okay, this is not bad, but again, we have a lot of doors here. And I want the camera to be a little further in, and also the light that comes in from the outside a little too bright. So we're gonna fix those things. So again, for prompt 21A, right? Yeah, 21A. For the first shot, let's do, oh God, let's do a push in from a medium angle, go to a close up. At the beginning, the door is closed. Rocco opens it. The shot ends on a close-up on him. And for the lighting, let's do haze from a cold light. Outside. Haze from a cold light. What else didn't we like here? What else didn't we like here? So the composition, that works. Okay, let's try that. Actually, before it updates, maybe in the same prompt. Okay, I'm gonna, or maybe just edit this. For the second shot, I want a super low angle close up on his legs. And his boots, I guess, as he steps in. So we get this really dramatic, tense moment. He walks in, the camera is pushing in, the door opens, he walks in and stops, the camera stops very close to his face, and then the second shot on his boots as he keeps walking. Well, I hope you got that, and I hope Claude got that. While we wait for the shot list to update, here's a little update for you. On day 2, I spent nearly 100,000 credits on a 2.5 minute scene, which I almost completed, and then we ended up changing the script where it's a flashback scene from their childhood. We decided to change the location and the dialogues, so I had to scrap the entire 2 minutes of generations. That hurt, and it's probably gonna happen again, but that's how you get greatness, that's how you get cinema. All right, it's done updating, so I'm gonna take the new prompt right there. Actually, let's move it again so that we have the description as well. Just to double check, medium to close up on Rocco at the door, and then a super low close up on his boots stepping in. That sounds about right. Okay, I'm gonna paste that in and see what we get. And our videos are ready, so let's take a look. Okay, I don't like that the camera is too far out. He walks in. Okay, this like tiny face here is not bad, but it's not worth taking only 2 seconds out of this whole video. I think the main issue here is that we have too many doors on the sides. It might be coming from, yeah, it's actually from the keyframe. But if we put the camera further in, that might solve our issue. So we're gonna try that next. All right, there's way too much haze over there. Man, this one had potential, but the hallway just looks weird. And the door. Nope, that's a no immediately. And yeah, that doesn't make sense either. So the two main issues are that the boots, the stepping forward, it just doesn't land. So it needs to be longer. And he needs to actually start walking. And in the first phase, we want to move the camera a little further in. So let's try that. So back in Claude, again in prompt 21A, the first shot, in the first shot, the camera should start from closer to the door, if that makes sense. And he doesn't step in yet. He just looks in mysteriously. Oh god. That's so bad. Okay, you didn't see that. And make the second shot slightly longer. And that's when he steps into the room.
Claude actually understands when you make some spelling errors, but I did get slammed for it in the last video, so I'm gonna try and spell correctly.
All right, and here's our prompt. Let's copy it over, paste it in, and generate.
The nice thing about these generations is that I upload the characters and the locations once, and then with a shot list, it's always going to tag them in the same sequence. So image 1 is always Rocco, and image 2 is always the location. So I don't have to re-upload and retag them every time. Okay, while we're waiting for these, let's go to YouTube, check out our last episode, and maybe answer some comments. Let's see. So only about 1 of 64 video generations, and only 1 out of 100 made it in. Sounds about right. Thank you for being honest about the credits and group effort it takes to get the results you all achieved. Best of luck with the feature-length film. Looking forward to seeing it. Thank you, that means a lot. 10 million credits. Yeah, good luck for us, Common Fox. Yeah, well, if you're shooting this traditionally, I'm sure you've seen in the previous episode, the director of The Mask estimated it to be minimum of 5 million. For us, it cost 70,000. So it is still quite expensive, but it's a lot cheaper compared to traditional filmmaking. So again, it's just an easier entrance to cinematography. It's very good. You talked about credits before and included a tracking in the series. Yeah, again, this is the issue with a lot of my previous videos where, again, with the magic of editing, I just click generate and, always get great results. And that's, again, done to keep you engaged and keep the videos interesting. But obviously, that's not always true. You have to iterate, you have to change your prompts, and you have to understand which parts of your prompts to edit to get the final result. And our videos are done, so let's take a look. Ooh. Okay, there's something there. Okay, I like this already. Let's check the next one. Well, that broke in a lot of ways, so that's a no. This could be nice, but again, this wall in the background kind of throws me off. Okay, well, he walked in from the wrong side, so that's a no. Okay, the camera's doing too much. This handshake and then it rising as it's pushing in. it's an emotional moment, but it can't overload the viewer. So let's just stick to one motion to push in. I'm gonna try downloading this, and I'm gonna bring it to my timeline right away. So again, edit as you go. Let's see how it looks. Okay, I don't like the music overlap at the beginning, so maybe I'm gonna let the door open and then play the music. Too fast. Okay, kind of like that. Okay, well, definitely not the closing, so maybe let's cut this here. And it's kind of throwing me off how much he's opening the door. And also him leaning here and stepping with the right foot doesn't make sense. So I could cut it here. And then right at the footstep. And then just get rid of that. Not quite right. Okay, this just doesn't land. I think maybe let's try a lower angle. Or you know what? Let's try generating a couple more. Just do a ton of batches. I'm sure we're gonna get a decent result. The problem looks nice. Like the motion, the action is what we want. It's just slightly off. So doing a couple batches might solve the issue here. Okay, after a couple iterations with the same prompt, I think I landed on the one that I like the most. Let's give it a go. This one right here. Let's see. Oh, that's nice. All right, one more time. Oh, I'm feeling it. Can you guys feel it? All right, and just for comparison, let's try that one more time for the old one. They are pretty similar, but he didn't close the door and this awkward stance at the end. Yeah, I'm definitely going with this one. Let's get rid of this and bring that up. I might want to do an L cut here at the door closing. Well, you can't really see. Oh, hold on. Yeah, so this door closing might be a nice sound for the next shot. This is what we call an L cut. I'm gonna keep it for now, but when we generate the next shot, if it blends in with this one, we're just gonna do a cut on the video here, or right here, and then keep the sound of the door closing. All right, so prompt 21A completed. Now we're moving on to the prompt 21B. So we have him turning on the lamp and then push in on the photo wall. And let me see, Rocco's hand pulls the chain on the side lamp. Is that in the script? Oh yeah, he turns on a lamp. I really like the vibe here of this like cold atmosphere. I don't think I want the light turning on. I'm gonna go a little off script. I might have to answer for that later in front of the directors, but I'm making my own director's call. Let's try a shot where he doesn't turn on the lamp. What do we have here? He stares forward. Where is he? Where is he in the room? Okay, I think with this prompt, he's already like deep in the room. But since the music is really slow, and we want to really feel this moment, I want to follow him like all the way through. In the last shot here,
the camera was facing him. So I think for continuity, the camera should be positioned behind him so we don't have the two shots clashing with each other. So in Claude, for prompt 21B, I want a shot behind Rocco as he is entering the room. The camera follows him. Let's say in the first shot, and then the second shot can stay the same. And he doesn't turn on the lamp. All right, now we got our prompt. So 21B. Oh, there's a new tag. So image 1 is Rocco, image 2 is the location. What's image 3? Excuse me? Oh, the Polaroid. Or the photo wall. The photo wall, okay. So this is a bit of a downside when the prompt isn't, oh, never mind. All the handles are here. So the third one should be the photo wall. Now, before pasting in the prompt, I'm gonna upload the picture of the Polaroid, photo wall. That way, when I paste in the prompt, the handle gets tagged in automatically. All right, there we go, and the prompt. All right, so we're done generating. One of them we lost. I'm gonna keep it in because I like to have like one row per batch. So if I delete this, it's gonna throw me off for the next generations. Let's just leave it in for now. Okay, I didn't actually understand what's happening. So he was supposed to be walking in from there. Oh, that's terrible. Okay. They're probably all gonna be the same. Okay. So the main issues here are, well, first, he's not walking in from the right side. He needs to be walking in from the hallway. And then the photo wall, yeah, it just doesn't work. Maybe let's do one continuous shot of him just walking in. So in Claude, we'll prompt 21B. I want just one continuous shot. Camera follows him from behind as he walks in. In the current version, he is not walking in from the right place. Maybe I'll upload the location one more time. Okay, so I need to describe that it's that hallway. The hallway. Oh my god. Suka hallway now. The hallway is in the top right corner of the top panel. Describe it in detail. In the prompt, it needs to be walking into the room. From that place, the camera follows him from behind, very dark. All right, so it included a new spatial layout block, which describes the layout of the room and where we want the camera to be positioned. Hopefully that helps. Okay, the shot is split into 5 shots. Is it? Walker walks out of the hallway. He drifts left through the window. You stop here. What the fuck? Oh no, it's one continuous shot. It's just describing what's happening at each phase here. So that'll do. Let's copy that in. Man, that is one long prompt. And let's try generating. I'm only doing one batch here. We're trying to nail the camera positioning, and you can usually tell if it's off with just a couple of generations, and then you have to tweak your prompt. While we're waiting, again, let's read some of the comments on YouTube, see what you guys are saying. Unlimited credits is the only factor here. Yep, pretty much. The person on staff who recommended teaching us exactly how to use Higgsfield deserves a raise. I get so discouraged with it and was thinking about canceling it until I figured things out because I was tired of burning through credits. Keep doing this, please. Thank you. I really hope that my tutorials help you guys. If there are any things that are unclear after each video, feel free to comment. I usually go through, at least in the first couple days, and try to answer all of them. I'm not questioning the budget, because for a full VFX film like this one, it's incredibly low. But why make it in 14 days? That is nuts. You can still prove your point, taking even 6 months, and produce something really compelling and entertaining. Creativity needs time. That is true. Creativity does need time. The reason we're doing this in 14 days is because last week, someone on our team had this idea of making a full feature film and going to Cannes. So that's where the deadline of 14 days came in, and that's why we had to involve a lot of people, 15 people working on this. I know that's really low for traditional filmmaking, but for AI production, usually you only work in teams of 3 to 4 people max. So this is a big experiment, not only for us, but I think for the entire industry. We'll see how we do. Okay, I think it is working. He's in the right place. What's that called? The spatial layout block definitely worked. Let's see. Oh, okay. That's not supposed to happen. I think it might be because in the prompt here, it's splitting the shot into sub shots. So the first 3 seconds is defining what happens in the first 3 seconds, in the next 3 seconds, in the next 3 seconds. That's why we got this weird cut. Wait, where was it? Right here. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's happening for all of them. Okay, so back in Claude, I'm gonna tell it to get rid of this. Maybe I'll just select this. Defining what happens at each second is forcing Seedance to do cuts. Just define it as one continuous shot. All right, so the prompt is fixed. Let's try running that one more time. Oh, and one more thing I didn't like in these generations, aside from the cuts, is that he's walking too fast. It doesn't match our mood or our music. So I'm probably gonna have to tweak the prompt again, but we'll see what we get first. All right, let's take a look. Okay, this one's not, oh. It was close. It was starting good though. Okay, this is not usable. That doesn't work. Nope. It's still doing that cut thing. Okay, this one's the closest one. The room broke completely though. Okay, back in Claude. It needs to be one continuous shot. Don't split it or define different beats. I think that's what's confusing Seedance. Also, he is walking very slowly. And we only see the full room reveal at the very end. All right, so our prompt is updated. Now it's described as one continuous motion. That's exactly what we need. And yeah, he's slowed down too. Let's test it out. All right, let's see how it did. Oh yeah, that's much better. The scene feels intense. This works. I think I like this one. Okay, that's weird. I like this like shake of the camera side to side. Yeah, the room was revealed a little too early. I think this might be our best bet, or this one. Okay, I'm gonna download a couple and see how they hold up. 21B1 and 21B2. Yeah, I'm gonna bring those two into my timeline and see how they fit in. Let's see here. All right, that's nice. Okay, the walk is too long, so I'm probably gonna take only like the first 4 to 5 seconds. And then here. Okay, this is probably too slow. I like the gloomy darkness here. Okay, I'm gonna go with this one. I am gonna cut a little portion at the beginning. Maybe somewhere here. Just because here, he's already started walking, so he needs to be a little further in the room. Now that I'll cut thing that I was talking about earlier. So right when the door closes, somewhere here, we could cut this. And we're gonna do a little cut for the sound here. And then, hola. There we go. Let's see how that is. Okay, okay. Ooh, that is nice. Okay, well, first of all, the room itself is wrong. So the mirror or the window shouldn't be here. But I think if we just cut earlier before we see the room, so like somewhere here, we can introduce the room from a different angle, get like a wide establishing shot. So let's do a cut. Somewhere here maybe. All right, and we move to the next shot. All right, now in shot 21C, we have the fridge note and the Polaroid pull. Now the issue is that on our timeline, we haven't really introduced the room yet. So there's no wide shot establishing the room. So I think we need an intermediate shot between those two to have a nice transition. So let's do add another shot between 21B and 21C. I want it should be a wide establishing shot. Rocco walks into the room from the hallway and slowly walks towards the windows, so on the left side. For the camera, I guess first it needs to slowly pan to the left to follow Rocco, and then maybe push in on his face to get that dramatic effect. So the camera follows Rocco with a pan to the left, and then when Rocco stops, we get a slow push in on his face. Let's try that. And while we're waiting for that to finish, let's see how the directors are doing. Stop generating, so let's take the new prompt. We're looking for a white establishing shot. Let's plug that in. We only have 2 images, so I don't think we need the Polaroid attached. And let's generate. All right, we got our videos. We got the same angle in all 4 videos. I just pulled the one from the top panel of our reference sheet. Oh, okay, well that's a no. Also the camera work is a little off. It's moving too fast. Let's see the next one. Okay, there's something there, but this camera work is throwing me off a lot. So I was hoping for a pan where the camera is static, it just turns, but here it's kind of like gliding alongside him, which I'm not a big fan of. Let's see this one. Okay, so this is a pan, and then we're following him to the window. I think it all happened too fast though, compared to his slow, leisurely walk at the beginning. But I kind of like it. Let's download it and see how it holds up in the timeline. I'm just gonna call this 21, was it C? C? And let's check the last one. Nope. Okay. So right here, he went through the couch, which we cannot have. And also he's walking way too fast, like he's on a mission, like he knows where he's going. But the point is that he needs to like slowly walk in, look around the room, think about his past. I want to see how that last shot holds up on the timeline, but my guess is we're probably gonna have to iterate and do a couple more batches. All right, let's bring that shot in and let's see how it fits with the other shots. Okay, that's too awkward and too long. Maybe let's cut it here. Try that again. Yeah. Okay. So here, he's walking very slowly. And I watch this. Boom, he's speeding. He's on a mission. All right, so that definitely doesn't work. And one more issue is that here we're following him closely. So the camera's pretty close to him here, and then his legs, and then the camera's behind him. But then here, it's way too far out. So it's a bit of a rough cut. I think I would rather have the camera placed slightly further in, like maybe right next to the fridge. That way we get a nice pan as he's slowly walking in, and then follow him by the window. So let's do just that. And Claude, I'm gonna say the shot needs to start closer to the hallway. He walks slower. Also, let's describe his emotions to give Seedance more context. So he's very upset and heartbroken. That might just do the trick. And while we wait, let's clean up a little. So I'm gonna get rid of this failed shot, these two, and this one right here. All right, so it's done thinking. The updates are the camera position. So we moved closer to the hallway. And then here, I like that he's defining the emotions. It is. Slower than tired, slower than exhausted. So slow, it barely reads as walking, more like being dragged forward by grief. This is exactly the emotion that we want to convey. So let's test the prompt and see what we get. I'll copy that over. And paste it right here.
While we're waiting for those videos to generate, I wanted to quickly introduce the team. Now, I know I said only 15 people, but that's 15 people generating. That's professional DOPs, directors, but we also have screenwriters, sound designers, editors, and they've been putting in a lot of effort, barely getting into sleep. So big shout out to them. I left their Instagram handles, definitely go check them out. All right, our videos are ready. I can already tell that the prompt was off because the angle is wrong, but let's see if it got the rest right. All right, you walked in out of nowhere. But the walk itself and the camera move, I like that much better. I think I would also like to have him like stop here somewhere and then turn around instead of looking out the window. He's reminiscing about their past inside the room, not outside. Let's see the other ones. All right, walking faster here, not ideal. Okay, we nailed the camera move. I think if we have him turn around earlier and also place the camera correctly at the beginning, that's gonna be a golden shot. No, okay. All right, so back in Claude, I want the camera placed further in, right before the fridge. And Rocco needs to stop before reaching the window. How do I describe this relative to the couch? Like halfway through reaching the couch? Yeah, I'm just gonna skip that. Needs to stop before reaching the window and walk around very slowly. Let's try that. All right, so we changed the camera position from near the hallway opening 2 meters back to right beside the fridge, deep inside the apartment. That's exactly what I was looking for. Rocco's blocking. He stops in the middle of the living room, near the coffee table, between the sofa and the window. Okay, this might actually do it. Let's see. There's our new prompt. Oh, I lost it. Copy that over. And do a new batch. All right, we got 4 new videos. The same issue still persists. We still have the wrong angle, but let's see if the rest makes sense. Nope. Okay, he's walking way too fast. Okay, but I kind of like where he stopped. I think I would rather have him turn around the other way, just to have like continuity of him walking. Let's see here. Nope.
Okay, there's something here. Right, the camera's doing too much. And at the end, I don't know if you noticed, but the fridge became white. Actually, it's a new fridge because initially the fridge should have been here. Okay, but we still need to fight the angle issue. So I'm going to try to be more specific about exactly where I want the camera placed. Be super specific about where the camera starts from. It's right next to the fridge. We can barely see the fridge on the right side of the frame, and it's deep inside the room. Yeah, let's try that. All right, we got the new prompt. Please work. Let's see, 21C. I'll copy that over. Man, this prompt is getting longer and longer. All right. If you're new here, this is like 90% of AI filmmaking. You just have one little issue and spend 15 batches trying to fix it. All right, we're doing a lot better already with the angles. Let's see. Oh man, I think instead of moving the camera closer to the fridge, it moved the fridge closer to the camera. The acting is not bad though. Yeah, so the fridge is right here, which should have been down there. That's the inconsistency that we just can't have. Okay. Okay, one issue I have with his acting is that he looks more confused than heartbroken. It might just be me though. Let's see. Yeah, it's like he's here for the first time. This one's better. The ending feels a little off though. No, wait, that was the wrong batch. Okay, let's try that again. The camera is still in the same place. You just moved the fridge. I need the camera to be deeper in the room, right by the hallway. I'd say this is critical. And Rocco looks more confused than heartbroken. Okay. This is his old room. So everything feels familiar. And he is nostalgic about the past as he looks around. So as you might have noticed with characters, I'm not describing the exact actions, but rather the emotions that they should be feeling when they perform those actions. All right, and let's try that one more time. Again, 21C. Paste that in and generate. I'm praying this works. Oh God, I completely broke the prompt. So that's not right. Nope. Nope. What? Nope. Nope. Okay, how do we define this? I think because it's adding on to an existing prompt, there are some things that are clashing with each other. So maybe I'm gonna tell it to, for prompt 21C, scrap the whole prompt and start from scratch. I need a continuous shot where Rocco walks into the room. He's heartbroken. The place is familiar. He walks very slowly to the middle of the room, stops and looks around. The camera starts from next to the window on the right. On the right, pans left, following Rocco, and then pushes in towards him. I think that might do it. Am I missing anything? Okay, let's try that. All right, I think we got the whole thing rebuilt. So let's take that new prompt and see how that holds up. All right, our batches are ready. Let's take a look. Okay, so that's wrong immediately. Nope. That doesn't work. Where is it coming from? Man, this is so frustrating. This is like the easiest shot ever. Just one continuous pan and then push. But sometimes it's shots like this that will eat up the most of your time, and it's just so annoying. No. No. Oh, wait, no, that's wrong. Okay, so the camera is great relative to the hallway, except the rest of the room is completely broken. And that's a no as well. Okay, maybe let's try uploading the apartment as a reference again. Here's the apartment for your reference. How do we describe the camera positioning? Maybe like we'll enter it to this kettle over here. In the top panel, the camera should be positioned by the fridge next to the kettle, way deeper in the room. All right, and there's our new prompt. Let's see how that holds up. So 21C, copy that in and run. Let's do 2 batches again. I'm actually gonna crash out if this doesn't work, please. All right, the videos are ready. Let's take a look. Oh man, okay. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, so here, he kind of understood what I meant, but instead of moving the camera further in, it just moved the fridge closer to us. this just didn't work. The same issue here. This is almost right, except he needs to walk out of there, and the camera needs to be further in. Nope. That's it. Oh man, this is gonna be day 2 of me losing my mind on YouTube. Okay, let's try editing the prompt again. Maybe instead of anchoring to the props on the side, okay, we'll be editing this prompt, so maybe anchored to the hallway. So instead of anchoring the camera to the side, it should be facing the hallway really close. The dark hallway really close, slowly revealing Rocco. And in that case, instead of doing a pan, let's do camera follows him and pushes in. I mean, the rest looked good. Like, he did walk out somewhat slowly, looking around the room. It's just the camera positioning that we can't get right. Let's try that. Actually, I'm gonna edit this a little bit more. So instead of just the dark hallway really close, let's say it starts with a focus on the dark hallway. And let's do parallel tracking. That might work for us.
So while Claude is thinking, I want to talk about arguably one of the most important parts of making an AI film, post-production. So it's fairly similar to traditional filmmaking. We still need to color grade our clips, add sound effects where they're missing. We are taking the voices from the original footage. So I guess the only difference is that instead of using filmed footage, we're using generated footage. All right, so it rebuilt the prompt. Let's try the new variation and copy that over. Oh, there we go. And run a couple more batches. Come on, man. I know you can do it. Let's see, so far we've spent, I said 36 videos, 8 more to go. I think we're getting close to the result that I want. And like I mentioned in the first episode, these aren't waste. Like you've noticed, every single one of these taught me the prompts for the next one, and keep iterating, and eventually we're gonna get the shot. All right, the videos are ready. Let's take a look. No. All right, so that's a no. No. Okay, this one's close, except it's coming from the other end of the hallway, so like in the back of the room. I think I got the idea. It's just having a hard time understanding which hallway we're talking about. Right, so this is in the correct hallway, just facing the wrong way. Okay, I have an idea. In Claude, let's say the hallway I'm talking about is in the top right corner of the reference sheet. And maybe I'll upload it once more, just so Claude understands what's happening. All right, we got the new prompt. Let's test it out. I'm gonna paste that in. Same process. Let's up it this time. I'm gonna do 3 batches. We do have 10 million credits, so let's splurge a little. All right, it's done generating. Let's take a look. Okay, I already like the camera positioning much better.
I would like to have it pointing that way a little more. Overall, like up until here, this isn't terrible. Oh, this is terrible. Nope, nope. Okay. Nope. Not quite right. Okay, it's finally figured out the location of the camera. Now we just have to point it towards the hallway. You know what? I'm just gonna batch a bunch of videos and I feel like there's something there. Let's try our luck. Yeah, so I'm running 4 batches. This is mostly on a hunch. A lot of people ask, when do you know when to keep batching and when to tweak the prompt? There are a couple iterations here which I like this one here. It's not bad. It's starting from the correct position. It's just the ending I'm not a big fan of. I think because in the next scene, we need to have him work with the fridge. He needs to be closer to the center. Actually, the camera work isn't terrible. I'm gonna run a few more batches, and if we don't get a better result, I might just use this. Ooh, okay, I already like the angle in this one. Yeah, that's pretty good. Where are you going? Hold on. I think maybe like up to this point, and then we cut on the next shot towards the fridge. This might work for us. Let's take this. Was this 21C? First attempt. C. All right, gonna bring that over to my timeline. Does that work? Okay, looks around. Cut. Maybe a little earlier. Like he looks at the fridge. Right here. There we go. I think this should work. Alright, yeah, we spent quite a bit of time on the shot, so I'm gonna move on. If the editors don't like them, we might have to regenerate it, but for now this will do. Alright, let's see. So on the single shot, we ended up spending $72 generations. Isn't that crazy? For just 10 seconds of footage. All right, so the next shot, prompt 21D, the fridge note, and the Polaroid pole. So yeah, we're gonna need to attach the reference of Polaroid and copy this prompt. Bring that in. There's our Polaroid. Sometimes when you add the image after the prompt was already inserted, the reference isn't gonna get tagged. So just paste the prompt again and it's solved. And let's run it. All right, let's see what we got. Why are they frozen? The text broke a little bit. Okay, so the video feels a little soulless. And also, this is gonna be quite a rough cut. Like he only turns here and then immediately he's reaching for something. So this one's a no for us. The lighting is terrible here. And the composition too, like we have 2 fridges. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so based on our last shot, sorry, here he turns, and now I think it would make more sense for us to introduce the fridge first. So maybe do a close-up like this, but I'd like to have more Polaroids up, none of them repeating. So I'm gonna attach the photo wall to grab the Polaroids from, the Polaroid itself, and maybe to keep it consistent, let's get a keyframe of just the fridge itself. For that, back in Claude, I'm gonna upload the location once again, and then say I want a close-up of the fridge covered with Polaroids. Let's upload a photo wall. From this photo wall, both will be attached as reference. Give me the prompt for that. Oh, and I also want to make sure that I'm saying it's for an image. Just so it doesn't give us another Seedance prompt. All right, let's grab the prompt. I'm gonna do image. I'm gonna keep just the photo wall and the Polaroid. Okay, because I removed one of the references, the tagging system here broke. So I'm gonna just repaste the prompt once again. Fridge kitchen reference. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, and here we want to have the photo wall. Oh, darn it. Okay, I'm gonna tweak the prompt once again. I want to make sure that the Polaroid from their anniversary is also on the fridge. So add that in. White on the wall, fridge as well. So there will be 3 references. All right, then let's take that prompt and change it. Well, first I'm gonna upload the Polaroid. And now we're gonna change the prompt, get all the references, and let's do a couple of badges. Let's see. These are not bad. But I'm not a big fan of the close-up. I think for the video, we're gonna do a close-up, but just for the prop, let's do a slightly wider shot, maybe just the top half. So I want a wider shot, primarily the top half. I mean, the images look chaotic, but okay. I think I want the node to stand out a little more, so I'm gonna make it blue again. I know we created a separate prop sheet for it earlier, but I think Banana should be able to handle it even without the reference. So make the sticky note blue. I'm gonna do a few more batches in 16:9 just to capture more of the fridge. Generating images is much cheaper, so I'm gonna do a lot of batches here and pick the ones that I like the most. If your images look sloppy or the lighting is off, Seedance has a tendency to grab those imperfections and add them to the video. So we really want to make sure that the images are perfect. That way we don't have to waste too many credits on the videos. All right, so here's the fish that I ended up looking. And this one right here. I'm gonna upload that, the photo wall, and also the Polaroid itself. Oh God. There we go. So there's gonna be 5 references. Broco, the location, the fridge, the photo wall, and the Polaroid. I'm uploading these separately. That way, when we zoom in and do an extreme close-up, everything stays consistent. I'll be uploading these images for the next shot, which is for 21E. So Broco, location, photo wall, Polaroid, and the fridge in that order. For that shot, I want an extreme close-up on the fridge. The camera moves slowly, revealing all the images one by one. And Broco slowly reaches and grabs the Polaroid with November 14th. Oh wait, hold on. No, we're editing for prompt 21D. I'm glad I caught it. Yeah, 21D. All right, now we're gonna take this prompt and build our next shot. Oh, that's quite a long one. Is it supposed to be that long? I might be able to reference it that we're attaching. All right, let's see. Okay, so I tried running a couple batches and all of them failed. As you can see, I'm not immune to this either. So I'm gonna go back to Claude and tell it the prompt through an NSFW error. Fix the prompt. My guess is that it's in the prompt or one of the inputs. It could also be on the provider side, but let's try changing the prompt and see if that works. All the images passed the IP check, so I'm assuming it's the prompt. Let's try running a new option. All right, we got the new option. Let's see if that works. Was it 21D? Yeah, so 21D. Let's copy that over and try again. All right, so the issue was in the prompt. Now that I changed it, it's all working. So I'm gonna get rid of the failed generations. Also, don't worry if any of your generations fail. You don't get charged any credits for this. Delete, and now let's take a look. Oh. What is that glove? Was that what he's wearing? Okay, no, it's supposed to be black. Let's see. Nope. Can't have that. All right, yeah. So sometimes Seedance does this. As you can see, each frame feels cut or like delayed. This is happening because in the prompt we asked for 24 FPS, so 24 frames per second. But in this case, it's lower, so like maybe 12 FPS. We definitely can't use this. Check the next one. Oh, hello. Okay, same thing is happening here. It might be something in the prompt, so we're gonna have to tweak that. Oh, it like hurts to look at. Okay. The video must be 24 FPS. Make sure to keep the style prefix and gave you at the beginning. All right, so that's the FPS issue. Aside from that, the video itself isn't great either. Yeah, I think I would like to have the camera positioned on the opposite side, so on the right side from the fridge. Currently we're going the opposite way, so we'll need to fix that. The camera moves right to left, and he reaches for the Polaroid slower. All right, so while we're waiting for Claude, I want to show you a little hack that we discovered recently. So I'm gonna download this video. Let's name it failed. Just failed, it's fine. Now I'm gonna bring it to my timeline, drop it in right here. Let's move it further out. So in this video, the issue is that the FPS aren't exactly 24. So we're gonna go through it frame by frame. Okay, and right here, as you can see, both the frames are identical. So I'm gonna cut it and then delete this whole thing. And now we're good. So we keep doing that until we find frames that are doubled. So like this one right here, make a cut, get rid of that. I know this might look like a lot of effort, and sometimes it is, so only do this if one of the generations was great and the only issue is the FPS. In our case, it's not. The video itself isn't fantastic. Like if we watch here, the image morphs. But if this was a great shot, this is what I would do. Just go through it frame by frame. Find any frames that are double like this, and then just make a cut, get rid of it, and we're good. Now the issue with that is that your audio track is also going to get cut, so you are going to have to lose the entire track. So you could use this as B-roll. All right, here's the final edited video where I've cut out a bunch of frames. Let's take a look. I don't know if you can tell, but like we're losing a couple frames every couple seconds, and it's giving that random jolt in between the frames, which is very unpleasant to look at, and definitely we don't want that. Just keep in mind that you will be losing some frames, which means you'll be losing some seconds in your generation. Like here, we're losing, about 4 seconds from the final footage. Especially if you need this for B-roll, now your problem is solved. All right, let's move on. All right, and our new prompt is also ready, so let's batch it as well. That was prompt 21D. Copy that over. There we go. All right, and both batches are ready. Let's see what we got. Ooh, it's not bad. What? Does that move or am I tripping? Yeah, that moved down a little bit. And wrong picture. Pretty close. But again, wrong picture, I think. This one? Yeah. Okay, random pupil. And wrong picture. Again, random pupil, wrong picture. So we do need the photo wall. Okay, this is pretty close. Some of the faces broke. And again, the wrong Polaroid. Am I touching the right one? Yeah. Okay. It's wrong again. Okay, well, that broke completely. Okay, he reaches for the Polaroid too late, and I'd rather have him use his right hand. But the rest wasn't bad, so I think we're gonna just batch this, tweak it slightly so he reaches for the Polaroid with his right hand. He does it as soon as the camera reaches that Polaroid. Also, with a lot of these, I noticed that he's reaching for the wrong Polaroid of the 4 of them together. Well, not on this one. But here, it's 4 people. So it might be that the prompt is describing 4 people in the Polaroid that he needs to grab. So I'm going to specify once more. We're going to drop in the Polaroid and say, this is the Polaroid you should be grabbing. It's referenced as image 4. All right, we got the new prompt. Let's find it again. So 21D. I'm gonna copy that over. And this prompt is getting longer and longer. All right. I'm gonna do a couple of batches, so maybe 2. And let's see what we get. All right, I have a hunch that there's something in here. Let's have a look. Okay, not bad. Not bad. Why is it this picture? Is it on the... Oh, that'll do it. Okay. Let's see. It's not bad. Okay, well. At this point, I don't even know what to say. Nope. What is going on? All right, we're losing the FPS again. And the wrong picture. God damn it. Oh. No. Okay, let's just watch the end part. Okay, well, that feels bizarre. What am I doing? Oh, that was the last one. Okay, didn't quite work. Let's see. Okay, I think it's the issue with the keyframe. So because the anniversary Polaroid isn't on this fridge, it's having a hard time understanding where to place it. So maybe we need to explicitly tell it to add the Polaroid here somewhere, and then the hand reaches and grabs it. Or we could just try and have it reinvent. No, yeah. Let's try this again. Okay, the Polaroid in image 4 doesn't appear on the wall. And image, which one was it? Image 5. So Seedance has to edit itself. And then Roku picks it up. He's also wearing black gloves, like in the character sheet. Okay, I think this will do it.
I could create a new picture of the fridge with the Polaroid on it, but because we'll be using the same fridge in the next shots, since he's grabbing the Polaroid now, they can't appear in the next ones. For continuity's sake, I'm just gonna have Seedance edit on its own. So here's a new prompt. Where is it? Oh, there we go. So I'm gonna grab it and try a couple more batches. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, starting strong. Okay, the note is broken a little bit. And the wrong picture again. Oh. Wrong picture. Wrong picture. Ah. So close, but not quite it. Dude. All right, so Seedance is having a hard time understanding where this Polaroid should be on the fridge. So I guess I'm gonna have to add it on here myself and then try that again. So over in Claude, I'm gonna say, I wanna make an edit to the fridge. Add the Polaroid on the left-hand side while keeping the rest the same. And I'm gonna upload those pictures. So fridge, Polaroid. All right, let's see. All right. That is one long prompt. Let's give that a go. Okay, so we need these two. Edit image 2 to add a single new Polaroid. Yep, that makes sense. Okay. I think this one, no, it doesn't work. It broke all the faces. Dude. Oh, no. That's terrible. Okay, maybe I'm gonna keep the prompt simple and just say add the Polaroid from image 1 to the fridge, image 2, keep everything else the exact same. All right, I think we're getting somewhere. It broke the faces again, so I'm gonna have to add the photo wall separately so that I can keep the existing Polaroids on it intact. Actually, let me try GPT image here. It's actually pretty good at making edits to an existing image, so it might work here. All right. I just didn't add it here. Ooh, ooh. Okay, the faces broke a little bit, but Seedance might be able to handle this if we add the Polaroid as well. So you know what, I'm gonna try this. All right, let's try this one again. Except now we add the new fridge. So this one here. And let's give that a go. Okay, these look promising. Let's see what we got. No. Morphing. That fridge is very long.
Okay, I don't like that the magnet is coming off too. So we'll fix that in the prompt. Not quite. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I want him to use his right hand, so we're gonna fix that in the prompt. Let's see. Oh, hello. Okay. We're losing some frames again. Nope. What is that? Okay, that's a no. Okay, that looks promising. Dude. God damn it. Who grabs a photo like that? No, that's bizarre. Ooh, okay. Oh, their faces broke a little bit here. God damn it. Okay, this was very close. And this one is not. Who is that? Okay, so the two main issues, he needs to grab with his right hand, and the magnet needs to stay on the fridge when he pulls it. So maybe let's scrap the whole prompt and start over, because I think it's getting really long and it's just overwhelming the model. So scrap prompt 21D. Let's start from scratch. I'm gonna say we're gonna keep the same handles. The camera moves right to left along the fridge, focusing on the image on the Polaroids along the way. It ends on the Polaroid from image 4. As soon as we reach it, Rocco's right hand grabs it slowly. Actually, let's get rid of the slowly. What else was wrong? Oh, the magnet has to stay. The magnet holding that Polaroid has to stay on the fridge. Let's say Rocco holds the Polaroid down. All right, we got a new prompt. Let's have a look. 21D. Okay, it is still very, very long. Okay, I'm gonna give that a go. I'm praying to the prompt gods at this point. All right, let's have a look. There's too many pictures here. Got 2 notes. Also, why is it thumbtacks and not magnets? The fridge doubled. This one doubled. We're losing some frames again. Like around 18 FPS maybe. Wrong image, buddy. Yeah, I think we're getting pretty close with the previous batch. I kind of want to just batch a ton, and I feel like we're gonna get there. All right, so this prompt didn't work. I think with this one, we're getting pretty close. The picture's all in the right place. It's just the moment of him grabbing it. Maybe I'm just gonna batch a ton and hopefully we'll get something. Let's see. I'm gonna do 4 batches. All right, let's have a look. Who are those people? Nope. Nope. I'm losing some frames here. And yeah, no. Okay, this was close, but I need the right hand to pick up the Polaroid. That morphed. Yeah, can't have that. Wrong picture. Not quite. That was weird. Okay, we lost the magnet. Okay, this one. That's terrible. Nope. Wait, this one. That's weird. Wait, this one's close. Okay, we got some morphing at the beginning, but I think we can cut it here. Yeah, we can start here. Okay, I think that will do. Let's take this one. 21D. Let's just watch the other two as well. Okay, that was a little weird how he touched it first and then pulled it. But overall, it's not bad, I think. Okay, I'm gonna download both and then see how they play out on the timeline. So 21D, 2. Who is that? And I'm moving. All right, let's take those two videos. Yeah, so here we can cut it. Honestly, that's not bad. Okay, let's check out the second one. Okay, it's a little weird where he touches it first, but overall this isn't bad either. I'm going to save both options and then send them both to our lead editor, and he can make a decision when he makes the final cut which one makes it. I think this one is the winner though. All right, let's watch that. Let's watch the whole thing one more time. Okay.
All right, so that's shot 21D done. On to the next one. All right, so now shot 21E. Let's see what this prompt looks like. So paste that in. We need Roku, the Polaroid. What about the location? And shot 21E. Keep the reference of the location so that we keep the same style. Okay, we got the new prompt, but I just realized that the fridge is gonna be really close in the frame. So I kinda wanna upload a reference of it too to keep it consistent. Now we wanna make sure that we're using the fridge without the Polaroid on it. So the initial one, since he's already grabbed it. So I'm gonna say also add a reference of the fridge. All right, and here's our new prompt. Let's grab it, 21E. And let's run it. Okay, I like this angle, but I want him to be doing something. Like, you can't just have this for 15 seconds. Also, he's dripping wet. Maybe same angle, he's holding it by both hands, and then he slides his finger further up. And maybe let's do multi-shot. The second shot is a close-up of him. So back in Claude, for shot 21E, right? 21E. The first angle should be
reverse or over the shoulder shot. Shot of him holding the picture with both hands. His lights, his thumb, his left thumb over the image. And the second shot is a close-up of him with the Polaroid visible. All right, got the new prompt. Let's test it out. So 21E. There we go. And run it. All right, our videos are ready, but I just realized that I forgot to get rid of the photo wall, and also the fridge that we're using is the wrong one. So as you can see here, the Polaroid is on it. So we're gonna have to regenerate with the new assets. But first, let's take a look and see what it's looking like. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, I think it's something we can work with. As long as we fix the fridge in the background, we should be okay. And I'm gonna get rid of the photo wall just so it doesn't confuse the model further. Okay, so minus the photo wall, and here we want to upload. Is it this one? Yeah, so this fridge and the prompt again. And I'm gonna do like 3 batches at once. All right, and we're ready. Let's have a look. Okay, well, the Polaroid itself broke a little bit. That's not what it's supposed to look like. Okay, this one's closed. And now he's super far from the fridge. Can't have that. What are you looking? Okay, so the shot right here, the previous one was from the side of the fridge. So I would like to move the camera on the other side. Let's check out the other batches. So the image doubled, so this is a no. That's a no. Again, wrong side. He picked it up over there, but now he's here, which doesn't work for us either. I like the emotions here. Except I think it would make sense for him to do that to Lulu than himself. The picture broke. Okay, this one has potential. All right, let's see. Ooh, I like this angle a lot better. Okay, and he's like right next to the fridge, right where he picked it up. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with this one. That was 21 D E. Okay. Let's see it play out on the timeline. Oh yeah, that's nice. But I think we could cut it before he turns, and that's when the flashbacks will start. So like right here. Okay, let's watch the whole thing. Okay, it's a tiny bit of a rough cut, like right here. So he's pulling it to the side, and then here he's picking it up upwards. So I kind of want to add an intermediate shot here, just a couple of seconds, maybe a wider shot from this angle, like from this side of him picking up the Polaroid before we see it up close. So let's try that. So between 21D and 21E, I want to add, or you know what? Give me a second version of 21E, except at the beginning, he picks up, or we get a medium shot of him picking up the Polaroid and turning to the side. The camera is to the left from the fridge. All right, so we got 21E second version, which is right here. So I'm gonna copy that over, paste that in, and generate once more. I'll do a couple of batches again. So with this video, I'm looking for a 3-shot. In the first one, he picks it up from the side. We get a medium shot. The second one is gonna be the close-up of the Polaroid, and then the third one is the close-up of him. I don't like the angle at the beginning. I'd rather have him on the other side. He needs to be further in, to the left from the fridge. No. Not quite. No. Okay, this one's better. And the picture broke. Okay, this one looks promising. Wait, the beginning again. Okay, I like that. That's pretty nice, actually. Let's take that. What do we call this? 21E Okay, now on our timeline, bring that in. Maybe I'll cut this a little earlier actually. Pause it. And before it leaves the frame, like right here. Okay, that's nice. And before he turns, let's watch the first one again. I think I like this angle better. Let's see how it works with the rest of the clip. Okay, I think we're gonna need to cut this. Maybe here. Oh, that's pretty nice. One more time. Pause it, picks it up, close up. All right, that's right on the money. So here, I'm gonna cut this. Bring that down, and let's watch the whole thing together once again. Okay, overall, I like this a lot. A couple issues I have here. I think I want to reveal his face before we move on to the next shot. So maybe up to here. Okay, that's nice. And at the end, I think I'm gonna leave this out so that when he turns, that could be like him thinking about the past and we can cut to the flashback better. If it doesn't work well with the second scene, we can just cut it later, but for now, let's leave it in. Yeah, that's nice. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. So that's scene 21 done. Now let's move on to scene 23. So here we're back at the apartment. So this is after the flashbacks. He's in the same apartment, dark atmosphere, a tear runs down his cheek, silence, he closes his eyes and breaks into sobs. So it's again a very emotional scene. It's very important that we get it right. It is going to be fairly short. Let's see what the shot list looks like. All right, so it's just a single shot. Let's run it and see what we get. We can tweak it afterwards. This is my workflow for pretty much any shots. The prompts are really long and you can't really tell, well, especially because it's Chinese, but even with English prompts, you can't really read through all of it and understand exactly what the output is going to look like. So I recommend running a couple batches, testing it, and then you can go from there. For the inputs, we only need Roco and Polaroid. Well, that's not going to work. We also need to upload the apartment to keep the location consistent, and maybe even the fridge. I'm gonna drop in the apartment. The apartment needs to be tagged as well in shot 23A. All right, we have our new prompt. Let's see. Should be this one. Grab that. I don't think we necessarily need the fridge because he's gonna be sitting at the bottom. I'm gonna run one option with it and then see how it plays out. What in the world is that? Okay. Dude, just look at these emotions. Okay, well, the Polaroid is completely wrong. And I think, like, if we have him break down right here, sitting by the fridge, that would hit a lot better. The emotions are fantastic, though. Okay, let's do... Also, something about the sliding. It might be that we're adding this reference image for the fridge, so it's trying to keep that same frame for the first shot. So I'm gonna get rid of it, and let's say reference for the fridge will not be attached. Oh god, not be attached. He's sitting leaning his back on the fridge. Shot from the left side. And with emotions, Seedance does really well if you just tell it Roku is very upset, but you can also add tiny little details. So I'm gonna try something like his lower lip trembles, and he smashes his head backwards onto the fridge. No, not smashes, maybe hits against the fridge. Let's give that a go. All right, let's try the new prompt. So 23A. We copy that over. Paste that in. All right, we have 3 references, all good. And let's do a bunch of like 3 batches. All right, what do we have here? So well, the location is wrong, so that's a no. Same here. Okay. Okay, we're gonna have to do something about his positioning. So we'll tweak the prompt again. Okay, this is better. I like the camera pulling out. Claude added this on its own, but I really like it. It's like we're pulling back away from these memories and letting them settle and land, if that makes sense. Definitely keeping that camera move. Let's see. Okay, we'll tweak the prompt. So again, mention that the camera is on the left side of the fridge. What else is wrong? Where was it? This one. Also, this cut here, I think it would be nice to have like add a cut but from a different angle. So maybe he leans his head down and then at that moment we cut to a different shot, but I don't want to cram it into one prompt here, so we're just gonna do a separate prompt for the second shot. All right, and let's try that one more time. And I'll do 4 batches this time. All right, let's have a look. Okay, the location is wrong again. And down. Okay, this is close, but not quite it. Okay, the image is broken. Wrong side. Oh man. Okay, lost me there. Oh, I like that. Okay, it added music in the background, even though the prompt specifically asked not to. But I think we can work with that. Like, we only need the sound of him right here. Okay, this is a great shot. I think I'm taking this. This is 23A. And you're gonna tell me AI emotions aren't real? I mean, how could you not feel that? All right, let's bring it to our timeline. So 23A. I'm gonna leave a little gap for scene 22. Okay, that works. We might cut it like before the camera moves back, but the beginning is great, so let's keep it for now. And now 23B. All right, so for shot 23B, I'm gonna say I also want shot 23B. Now for this, I want the camera to be on the other side of the room, so on the right side, and I wanna give a little beat for him to completely break down. Like, he looks at the picture, sobs a little bit, and then just curls up and starts crying. And then we're gonna pull the camera back. This is a pretty common technique in cinematography where It's like you're leaving the character alone, giving them some space to really feel their emotions. So let's try to convey that through the generation. So I'm gonna say the camera is now on the right side. It pulls back. Actually, it starts with a close-up on him. Rocco sobs and then completely breaks down and curls up. As he does so, the camera pulls back. Yeah, that should be good. All right, so now shot 23B. Let's copy it over. And see what we get. All right, let's have a look. Okay, not quite it. So we need him to be sitting already. The image is broken. Okay, this one is the best one in terms of the acting. But again, the room itself broke. I think we might be able to just batch a ton. Like the motion is good, the actions are good. We just need to nail the location itself. So I'm gonna do 4 more batches. Okay, we're ready. Let's see. Nope. Nope. Why can't it handle the Polaroid properly? Okay, this is nice. But wrong angle. Oh. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Wrong Polaroid though. Not quite it. There should be a hallway here. This is kind of what we're looking for, except the Polaroid needs to be fixed. Not quite. Okay, I like this one. I think if we cut, like when he's about to put his head down, like somewhere here, this could be nice. All right, let's take this one. 23 beep. Yeah. All right, and on the timeline, let's see. Maybe like right here. Okay, so here I want to cut it as he brings his head down, like here-ish. And then does that work? I think it kind of works. Let's watch that again. Yeah, it's pretty nice. I think I'm quite happy with that. nothing bothers me. I think we can work with this.
Okay, so that's scene 23 complete. All right, that's day 4. Let's see where we are. So over the 4 days, in total, the team spent 4,441,352 credits, generated 48,336 images and videos. That's about $260,000 over the 4 days. I'm beginning to think that 10 millions might not be enough. During the shooting, I generated nearly 800 assets and only 8 of them made the final cut. Now it took a lot of effort, so if you learned something new today, please give us a follow, that would mean a lot. And also let me know in the comments if this is the kind of content you would want to see more on the channel. Now by episode 3, we'll have already finished the first draft of the full film and we'll have a lot to share with you guys. But until then, stay tuned.